Hello friends. So I wanted to make another video about my stomach tattoo because for some reason in the YouTube algorithm it like fucking blew up. And also I posted a TikTok and an Instagram reel about my stomach tattoo. Okay, here's mine, but first of all, my shirt is dope as fuck, and here's my tattoo. Hey! And people have had a lot of questions, so I thought I would just like make a video about it because I thought it'd be fun. But also like I need videos to make because I don't know what to fucking say anymore, so that's what I'm doing. When I posted my vlog, it was like getting my fat plus size belly tattoo blah 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 because, you know, your girl's fat and I feel like most tattoo videos are on thin bodies, so of course, you know, I have to represent the fatties. That being said, I've also made quite a few other YouTube videos about being fat or plus size and having tattoos, so if you want to go check those out, you can. I feel like a lot of what I'm going to say in this video has probably been hashed out in those videos as well, but I'm going to make this video anyway because y'all are interested in the topic. In February of 2021, I got my stomach tattooed. I'll insert pictures on the screen because I'm sitting down and you can't really... No, those are my saggy ass boobs. You can't even see it. Yeah, my tattoo's right there. And it's like, I guess a sternum belly piece. It's not really one or the other. It's kind of smack dab. Really in the middle. Not that I guess it matters. But people had some questions or they've said some things, so I just wanted to go over those together because I'm gonna debunk these myths that y'all be having about your fat body. A lot of people ask about scars and stretch marks. If you have a tattoo artist that is well trained, then they should be able to tattoo over any sort of skin. I don't want to say flaw because, you know, like there's nothing wrong with a stretch mark. It's literally a fact of life. But as long as stretch marks or open wounds or scars are healed, then tattoo artists should be able to tattoo over them. Of course, they are going to be a little more difficult to tattoo over because the skin texture has changed. But once again, if you are working with a tattoo artist that is skilled, then they should be able to do it. And if they can't do it, then they don't have the fucking skills. I don't know what you're going to say. And let me reiterate this. Stretch marks and scars are technically a wound on the body. And tattooing is technically wounding your body and like inserting ink. So you need your body to be healed from all these things before you get a tattoo. Because you can't just be like wounding a wound, because that's just going to be infected and it's going to be a hot mess. If your stretch marks are white or if they are like the same color of your skin, then that would be fine. And then of course with scars, wait till they're like completely healed over. If anything, I would wait maybe a little bit to like, if your scar just healed last month, then maybe give it some time, you know, let it rest. Maybe give it a year or so just so your body can completely heal it. And then also when a scar is healing, it may change in color as well. Like for example, I have, well, I don't know if you can tell, but I got surgery on my wrist a couple years ago and now it's pretty close to my skin tone. But when I got my stitches removed, of course it was a different color. But now you barely can see it and I think it would be an appropriate time to get a tattoo on the scar now because, like I said, it's completely healed and I think there is not going to be really any color change that won't affect the integrity of the tattoo. Now kind of going back to the stomach part of my tattoo. I understand why people have these thoughts, but at the same time I'm like, babe, just do it, it doesn't matter. And someone was like, what if I have a B-shaped belly? I don't know what kind of fucking belly I would have. I have a flat fupa belly, like, and I have a little belly pouch, a little saggy belly. I don't know what that would be called, but you can do whatever you want and it doesn't matter like what your body looks like. And I feel like people aren't used to hearing that because of, you know, the stereotypes or the messages that we hear in society. But anything a thin person can do, a fat person can do. And I know that people might have contrary opinions, but that's literally just the fucking truth. If a skinny person can ride a skateboard, a fat person can ride a skateboard. If a skinny person is getting a mullet, a fat person can get a mullet. If a skinny person is getting tattoos and piercings, a fat person can get tattoos and piercings. And of course there might be a little difference in the techniques that artists might have to use or even consider. Like, I mean, I don't have that much experience with piercings. I only have my nose and my ears. I guess depending on different parts of your body might be different. Like, I'm not sure how much a belly button piercing would be different on a thin person to a fat person. You know, if you have any experience with that, please leave anything down in the comment section. But I feel like it would generally be the same unless you're gonna be getting pierced like in like a fat roll. Then I don't know if there's like a way that it would be more likely to get infected. But anything a skinny can do, a fatty can do, okay? So when it comes into the B-shaped belly, I guess my belly, it would be more flat here, and then down and, you know, where it is on my hips is kind of where, you know, most of the fat is. But even if you had like a B belly, so it'd be like in a bump, your artist still has the same canvas area as, you know, like a flat stomach would be. If anything, you know, they might have to stretch out the stomach a little more to work on it, or to make sure the area is cleared. I mean, I carry a lot of weight in my arm. I don't know if you can tell, but like when I had this part of my arm done, I saw my tattoo artist like, you know, like pulling at my skin, you know, and stretching it out and making sure that she was covering all of the areas. But if you work with a tattoo artist that has integrity and, you know, is creative and creates a space where you can be vulnerable, then you should be able to have these conversations. Which I know is not the case, because I think a lot of the time there is a stereotype of tattoo artists being assholes, which I completely understand. How do I want to say this? I find myself now gravitating towards tattoo artists that I feel like would be a safer environment. And that being said, I'm trying to only get tattooed by women. I'm also trying to get tattooed by queer people. I'm also trying to support BIPOC tattoo artists. I'm not saying that every person that is involved in those communities is going to be super kind and caring, but I feel like most people in those communities do create an environment that allow me to feel more comfortable and vulnerable. If that makes any sense. So just stay away from the straight white male tattoo artists, babes. I feel like if you get away from the white, cis, heterosexual male tattoo artist, then you have more space to have these conversations that kind of feel scary when you talk to men about them, because most of the time men are like, what are you even fucking talking about? And then I guess for me, my overthinking woman brain is like, what do you mean? I don't know. I get scared sometimes, but also I'm an overthinker, and sometimes men aren't the best person to share your thoughts with. I don't know if that would be the correct grammar. As if anything I say is correct grammar. Anyway, to get back to the question, what if I have a B-shaped belly and you want to get a tattoo? Then have a conversation with the tattoo artist about what your body looks like, and, you know, if they aren't able to execute, you know, the design that you're thinking, then they should be able to work around it so it would flow beautifully with your body. And again, if you have lumps and bumps or stretch marks or scars, then a talented tattoo artist should be able to work with that. And like I said, with my arm, you know, I got rolls, I got fat on my body. So my tattoo artist kind of stretched out my skin and like make sure she got the fucking needle in there and put the ink in there and made sure it stayed, because, you know, this part of my arm is pretty fatty, so it's gonna be a little different than, you know, non-scarred skin. Once again, getting to the point of, if you're working with a talented tattoo artist, then they should be able to talk about this shit. And, you know, as a client of a tattoo artist, you need to be able to ask these questions and have these conversations, and sometimes they might be weird and uncomfortable, but I would rather anything be weird and uncomfortable than get a tattoo that I don't like or not understand what the process of the tattooing experience will be. And there's never a dumb question. Maybe some, but I'm sure like, in regards to tattoos, then I don't think you'll have them. And then the last question I wanted to talk about is, I guess, kind of the same question, but in the opposite formats, which is, what if I gain weight and what if I lose weight? Think about this, babes. When we were born, we were literally this big, and now we look like this. Our skin has been able to beautifully stretch and allow ourselves to become this big human being. I guess within growing pains, you're always getting bigger, but sometimes in life you lose weight, or, you know, you hit the gym a lot and you tone up and your body changes. But if you're doing things healthily and at a gradual pace, then your body should be able to adapt to these things and not create any deformities. I don't know if that would be like the right word to say. But like, we get stretch marks because usually our body is growing at a fast pace. That can happen during puberty when we're growing really quickly, or that can just happen if you're gaining weight. But, you know, if you're gaining weight or if you're losing weight, of course, your body is going to change, your skin is going to change. Let's all remember that stretch marks go back to your regular skin tone. So if you do get additional stretch marks around your tattoos or next to your tattoos, then they're most likely going to change back to your regular skin tone or something very similar. I guess it depends on what skin tone you have. I'm just speaking as a white person, of course, if you couldn't tell by my skin tone. So your body is very beautiful. Your body is very smart. So, you know, how your body naturally stretches, it will kind of be already what your shape is, if that makes any sense. So like if I were to gain more weight than what I have, you know, I carry a lot of my weight in my lower belly area and my arms. So those are the places that I would see stretch, and I already know a lot about those parts of my body. Like I usually get stretch marks here. I feel like I should probably take off my fucking sweater because I'm making this video. Whenever I gain weight, sometimes I get stretch marks here, and I already have tattoos over my stretch marks. And I don't think I've had stretch marks in a while, but I have some old ones that are kind of on the side. They're not going to ruin the integrity of your tattoo. I feel like a lot of people think that if you gain weight, then your tattoo is going to be like all warped. Like if you have a picture of a face, then it's going to be like one eyeball here and one down here, and it's going to look like a monster. And that's not the case. Like it's just your tattoo is going to grow because the ink is being placed in your skin. So if your skin is increasing in diameter, so will that ink. Or if you are losing weight, then the ink is also going to shrink in diameter. I mean, I'm not a tattoo artist or a scientist, but I'm a fucking fat lady who has a bunch of tattoos, and I know that, you know, I have my arm tattooed, and when I got this tattoo, I used to probably be like 30 to 50 pounds lighter, and it looks pretty much exactly it looks exactly the same as when I got it. You know, the coloring hasn't changed, the shading hasn't changed, the lines haven't changed. So I just want you to keep that in mind. Like, nothing is going to drastically change that much. The skin underneath it might, you know, you might get some stretch marks, blah, blah, blah. I believe I talked about this in one of my last videos, and I know it's not like the perfect example of gaining weight, but if you follow the tattooed icon, Mayumi Frost. I mean, that her name in so long. I also don't keep up with her in social media, but I remember a long time ago she was pregnant, and if you know who she is, she has like a fuck ton of tattoos. She's probably almost tattooed everywhere, and her stomach is very heavily tattooed, and when she was pregnant, obviously the belly area gets big. The tattoos looked great. They looked fucking sick on her pregnant belly. And, you know, after she gave birth and your body changes back to its more regular form or pre-birth or pre-pregnant body, you know, her tattoos look literally the fucking same. I don't think really much anything changed. I think all of these questions kind of come back to, I don't want to say fat phobia or anything, but you know, the scarcity mindset of like, what will happen if I gain weight? Is my body gonna change? Is it gonna look horrible? Blah, blah, blah. And in reality, I don't think much of it is going to change, especially in, you know, more solid areas. Like, I mean, if I put on like 400 pounds, I don't think like this part of my body would really change. You know what I'm saying? Especially in like the muscly parts of your body, I don't think your tattoos are really going to change at all. Like if I gained a bunch of weight, my knuckles would probably look the same, and same thing kind of goes for this area. You're just increasing the surface area of tattoos. It's not going to become deformed. It's not going to look weird. It's just literally going to look bigger. It's just going to look bigger. You're just going to have a fucking bigger tattoo after it. You know what I mean? So I hope that answers a majority of the questions I have around being fat or being plus size while having a stomach tattoo. I never really had any of those thoughts myself before getting tattooed. I was just like, let's get fucking tattooed, man. Because I work with good tattoo artists and they are always able to work on my fat, stretch marks skin. And I guess to finish off this video, I'll talk about the pain, because I've heard a lot of different things, and of course pain is going to be so different for everyone, but I did not experience a lot of pain when getting my stomach tattooed. The only thing that hurt was when it got up towards the sternum area. I don't want to show too much because I don't want to be demonetized, and I would say majority of the tattoo didn't hurt. I mean, obviously it's a fucking tattoo, but when it got up to the sternum area and when it was by my boobs, now that shit, when it was fucking hurting. Like, I would say there was obviously the worst pain within the tattoo, but I think overall pain that I've ever experienced while getting a tattoo. My chest was by far the worst fucking tattoo that I've ever got in my life. I don't think I would ever add anything around my chest unless I had numbing cream because it was just really that bad. And I don't know if it's because I have like a lot of extra cushion and push-in in my stomach area because, you know, your all's a little thick. I don't think it hurt that bad. And I've heard a lot of contradicting opinions or experiences, so, you know, it is what it is, babes. If you're that terrified of the stomach tattoo, then maybe don't get one. Or if you have a long-standing relationship with an artist, I would ask them about numbing cream because numbing cream, you know, kind of changes the skin and can really, I don't want to say mess up a tattoo, but it changes the technique needed for an artist to tattoo. Well, of what I've heard. Like, so don't take everything I say as 100 facts, but take it pretty liberally because unfortunately I have a lot of experience in this and a lot of monies in this. So let me know if you have any other questions. Maybe I'll make another video of like tattoos, Q&A or questions, whatever. But if you're fat and you want to get a stomach tattoo, then go fucking get it, boinch. You know, you do you. You know your body better than I do. If you have a certain shaped belly, then, you know, take that into consideration. Like I said, I have like a really fat lower belly area, so I would probably never get anything tattooed there because at this point it might just fucking, I don't know. You know, I have like the saggy belly, so I would never like get something under the saggy area because first of all, I wouldn't be able to see it, but also I don't know if I would look that good, so. I know. Everyone's anatomy is different. Everyone's pain is different. Just fucking talk to your tattoo artist. I don't know how many of you socially anxious boinches are watching this video, but just have a conversation, okay, babes? It's not that hard. And if you feel like it's hard to have a conversation about these things, then maybe you need to look for a different tattoo artist because, you know, these are questions that they should be able to answer very easily. But I also know that you can't be texting your tattoo artist and asking them a zillion fucking questions. And I don't think that these questions would come up on a Google search. So that's the video. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any other questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Maybe leave a comment if you have another question, or if you're fat and you have tattoos, then leave your experience down below because I think the more we talk about these things, then the less scary they'll become. Thank you so much. Bye. Peace.